Ever heard the rumor that baking soda is packed with toxic aluminum? It's a claim that's been swirling around for years, sparking fear and confusion among consumers. Baking soda, a staple in most pantries, suddenly cast under a shadow of doubt. But what's the truth behind this alarming assertion? Is our trusty kitchen companion really a silent adversary? Baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate as it's scientifically known, is a white crystalline powder used in a myriad of ways. From baking to cleaning to even some medicinal uses, it's hard to imagine our daily routines without it. But the rumor mill has churned out a worrying story. That this versatile ingredient contains aluminum, a metal linked to various health issues. But is there any truth to this claim? It's time to put on our detective hats, delve into the world of chemistry, and separate fact from fiction. Let's dive in and find out. Baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, is a simple compound with the formula NaCO3. This compound is composed of one sodium atom, one hydrogen atom, one carbon atom, and 3 oxygen atoms. Nowhere in this formula do we see any mention of aluminum. This is because baking soda does not contain any aluminum. However, baking soda is a type of salt. The term salt in chemistry refers to the product of an acid-base reaction, and there are many different types of salts. Some of these salts, like aluminum sulfate, do contain aluminum. This might be where the confusion comes from. But let's clear things up once and for all. Baking soda is a salt, yes, but it is a salt that does not contain aluminum. It's a completely different compound from those salts that do contain aluminum. So, as we can see, baking soda is aluminum-free. But why then does this misconception persist? The confusion likely stems from a similar product, baking powder. You see, baking powder and baking soda, while often used interchangeably in the kitchen, are not quite the same thing. Baking soda, also known as sodium bicarbonate, is a single compound that releases carbon dioxide when it reacts with an acid. This release of carbon dioxide is what gives our baked goods their fluffy texture. On the other hand, baking powder is a mixture that often includes baking soda, an acid, and yes, sometimes aluminum in the form of an aluminum salt. The aluminum is there as a drying agent, to keep the mixture from clumping. But here's the kicker. Not all baking powders contain aluminum. There are plenty of aluminum-free options available for those who are concerned about their aluminum intake. So, while it's true that some baking powders contain aluminum, baking soda is a different story. So, let's wrap up what we've learned today. We started by dispelling the widespread myth that baking soda is an aluminum salt. Baking soda, scientifically known as sodium bicarbonate, does not contain any aluminum. The confusion often arises because of a mix-up with baking powder, a completely different product which may sometimes contain aluminum salts, depending on the brand. We dived into the chemistry of baking soda, explaining its structure and role in cooking and baking. It's a pure single compound that reacts with acidic ingredients to produce carbon dioxide, which gives our baked goods that lovely rise and fluffy texture. Lastly, we tackled the myth of aluminum toxicity, reminding everyone that the aluminum in question is found in some baking powders, not baking soda. Remember, when it comes to baking soda, you don't have to worry about aluminum, so feel free to continue using it in your favorite recipes.